in the Byzantine labyrinth of linguistic lucubrations, a recent sojourn into the visceral terrain of the Fresh and Fit podcast unearthed a diatribe of metaphysical proportions. Myron, the oratorical savant at the podcast's helm, waded through the turbulent waters of societal semantics.
Probably one of the most ruthless intelligence agencies in the world. What else do we got here? Sheed goes, why do you allow non-black people to use the N-word? When you do that, you allow to avoid accountability and make excuses by saying my black friend has no problem with me saying that word. Okay.
Oh my God. Fuck. Here we go. You guys ready?
Let me tell you guys a little secret, okay? As a guy that went to a pretty much a predominantly white university where everyone virtue signals out in public, blah, blah, blah. Here's the secret. Everyone. Okay? That's the truth. It's just that some people are better at concealing it than others. Some people have an agenda with it. Some people only reveal it to certain people, but everyone is inherently racist to some degree, okay?
Haram!
So if everyone is racist to some level, I respect the people that are openly out there about it and make jokes about it and make fun of it versus people that conceal it, all right? This right here, like you thinking about, oh, bro, they use the N-word. How do you let them get away? They use the N-word when they're at home by themselves, okay? Like, it is what it is. Words only have power if you let it have power. This is something that the woke left will never understand. These like crazy jokes, all this other shit y'all see, that's a fraction of what people really think when they're not on camera or whatever. So who are you going to respect more? The person that's scared to say what they want to say for fear of being canceled and then they hide it, or the person that doesn't give a fuck and says it to your face? Who are you going to respect more? Both of them are doing the same thing.
Amen.
Exactly.
Yes.
Look out of here, man.
Emotional.
This is why I hate woke culture, bro. That's why I absolutely hate it. That's why like I can't get behind someone like Akash, right, from Flagrant. He goes ahead and says, you make fun of black people. That's like not good behavior. And then I pull up a clip of him making fun of a black woman not being able to find a guy. It's like, bro, when you're a comedian and you start virtue signaling, you are okay? The only difference between me and these guys is I don't give a fuck. I will go ahead and make those racist jokes, okay? I will go ahead and clown you, and there will be no mercy. If you come at me, there will be no mercy. I saw Myron Unleashed, and that's only 50% of what I could really do when it comes to roasting these guys. And they're already, whoa, oh, Myron's a Nazi, oh, God. It's like, man. But, yeah, bro, everyone is racist, dude. That's one of the and here's the thing, too. I don't want to digress too much because we still got some Jack the Ripper to cover. But what made me desensitized to racism, guys, was back in 2001. We're going to go back in time a little bit. Get to know you guys on a little bit of a more intimate level. After 9/11 happened, guys, I literally got ridiculed from a racism standpoint to the highest degree. They were making fun of me saying, oh, your uncle bin Laden attacked us. We're going to go kill your other uncle Saddam. You're a terrorist. You're a sandbagger, if you know what I'm saying. You work at you smell, you work at like a quickie mart. Thank you. Come again. I got even though I'm an Arab, I'm not even Indian. But bro, I got so many jokes because not only was I made fun of for being Muslim and for being Arab, I also was made fun of for being black too, because I'm both, right? Contrary to popular belief of what people want to tell you. So I got hit with racism to the highest level, but I thank God that I did. You want to know why? Because it made me it made me realize that my mind I'm in control of my mind, and words can only hurt me if I allow them to. It made me way mentally stronger. So when I hear people say crazy terms, I don't get offended because the context under which they really use it is what matters, not necessarily them saying the word. But if you're a snowflake and you get triggered when you hear racist terms, bro, life is way harder than that. You need to thicken your skin and stop being a little bitch. That's the problem with a lot of y'all. To be honest, you Gen Zers, you young boys, a lot of y'all are soft. You guys are coddled from reality. Like, and just so y'all know, America is not as racist as you guys think it is. Go to Japan. Go to one of these other countries. That's real racism. You know, they'll sit there and call you a Westerner to your face, gaijin and all this other shit. Like, bro, the racism in America is child's play compared to other places in the world, guys. So it's a lot of y'all need to like wake up and leave your state, leave your country, and realize how good you really have it in the United States. The racism that we experience here is nothing compared to other places. People need to grow thicker skin. If a word can trigger you or hurt you, you're Amen. All right. What else do we got here?
As the digital amphitheater resonated with the query of whether non-black denizens could partake in the linguistic gymnastics of the N-word on the show, Myron emerged as the arbiter of his own lexicon. His treatise on racism, a veritable odyssey through the labyrinth of human bias, posited that everyone harbors a smidgen of racism within, an indelible ink stain on the parchment of human nature. The revelation, akin to a Socratic gadfly, pricked the collective conscience, challenging the sacrosanct dogma of moral absolutism. Myron, the purveyor of linguistic maverickry, contended that the true heresy lies not in the utterance of taboo words but in the veiled sanctimony of those who conceal their prejudices behind a veneer of political correctness. His disdain for the woke vanguard, wrapped in the mantle of virtue, was palpable, a seismic reverberation echoing through the corridors of the podcast. In the pantheon of linguistic transgressors, Myron claimed allegiance to the cohort that unapologetically lays bare the skeletons in their linguistic closets. The crucible of Myron's resilience, a tempest that forged the metal of his mental fortitude, was laid bare in the crucible of his discourse. The crucible, narrated with the cadence of a Homeric epic, unfolded a chapter of post-9/11 travails where Myron, an amalgamation of Muslim, Arab, and Black heritage, faced the crucible of scorn. His revelation, a testament to the forging power of adversity, underscored a philosophical kernel: words, in their ephemeral splendor, only possess potency if the recipient breathes life into their syllabic cadence. In the operatic crescendo of Myron's perspective, the denouncement of virtue signaling comedians unfurled as a scathing rebuke. His ethos, a stark contrast to the paladins of political correctness, proclaimed an unbridled willingness to traverse the precipice of societal taboos, unfettered by the shackles of societal expectation. The paradox, akin to a linguistic Mobius strip, unfolded. In his defiance, Myron became both iconoclast and sage, a Dionysian reveller in the comedic bacchanalia. Myron's lexicon, a testament to the potency of words as both balm and bane, resounded with a clarion call for a thicker epidermis in the crucible of verbal exchange. The crucible, delineated with the chiaroscuro of linguistic chiaroscuro, painted a tableau where the tincture of racial rhetoric, in Myron's estimation, paled in comparison to the vitriolic lexicon of other nations. In the denouement of Myron's polemic, an exhortation unfurled, a resonant plea for the denizens of the United States to cultivate a cuticle of resilience. Yet, as we traverse the linguistic labyrinth Myron unravels, it behoves us to contemplate the shadows cast by this soliloquy. While Myron champions an unabashed linguistic landscape, critics might posit that such unbridled expression risks normalizing language that historically carries the weight of oppression. The N-word, laden with the ignominy of centuries, remains a linguistic battleground, and Myron's nonchalant approach may inadvertently downplay its historical resonance. In Myron's defiant declaration that words only hold power if we confer it upon them, one might discern a dismissive attitude towards the lived experiences of those who have borne the brunt of racial slurs. The counterargument here posits that language is not a neutral vessel, it is a cultural artifact, freighted with the collective history of its usage. To assert that the impact of a word is solely contingent on the listener's volition risks overlooking the systemic context in which language operates. Myron's desensitization to racism, crystallized in the crucible of post-9/11 ridicule, serves as a linchpin for his argument. However, one might contend that personal resilience does not nullify the broader implications of racial slurs. The argument could unfold, questioning whether Myron's ability to weather the storm should dictate the standards for societal discourse or if, instead, it might be an outlier, eclipsed by the myriad narratives of those for whom such words evoke deep-seated pain and trauma. Furthermore, Myron's juxtaposition of American racism as mild compared to other nations invites scrutiny. Critics may posit that such relativism diminishes the urgency of addressing racism within the United States. The counterargument might assert that while the global panorama of prejudice is vast, tackling racism on home soil remains imperative, and comparisons with other nations may inadvertently sideline domestic issues. In embracing a thicker epidermis as the antidote to linguistic affronts, Myron beckons individuals to fortify themselves against the slings and arrows of verbal disdain. Yet, one might interject that such an ethos risks fostering a society where the onus of resilience falls disproportionately on the marginalized. The counterargument posits that while personal fortitude is commendable, the emphasis should also lie on dismantling the structures that perpetuate linguistic inequities. In the grandiloquent oration of Myron, where linguistic boundaries are transgressed with audacious glee, these potential counterarguments linger as shadows, inviting us to navigate the precarious balance between linguistic liberation and the preservation of societal sensitivities.